All right, welcome, folks. Good day. How's everyone doing? Welcome to today's live stream. There's lots to discuss with the market. As always, there's never a dull day with the market. Folks, welcome everyone that's here. Settle down there in the chats here, folks. We want to keep this, PC and everything. So, all right, folks. Good day. I want to give you guys a market rundown and market update with Bitcoin and Ethereum. The state of the market is Bitcoin indeed, bottoming out. What should we look out for? What should we look out for if we want to be worried about the state of Bitcoin and Ethereum? And, I'm not heavily in Bitcoin, but I always say we need to understand what Bitcoin is doing if we want to understand what's going on with the rest of the market as well. I want to give you guys a bit of an update with our 1K to 10K challenge. We let you guys know a couple live streams back that me and Messin, we both are on this channel. We're doing a 1K to 10K challenge. We're going to be flipping $500 each, trying to see who can 10x it first. And whoever 10x's their money first, the winner gets to decide what charity we donate $1,000 to. So high stakes, high rewards. Welcome everyone for being here. Audio crystal clear today. Perfect. Yes, we've been having some audio issues that we try to get fixed and hopefully have fixed. So welcome everyone. Did my money buy a new mic already? The issue wasn't the mic. The issue was our audio inputs. So the issue was we streamed through OBS and it was just the audio settings. Like we had just had the wrong audio input. Like I believe the audio was coming through my computer, but like again, I don't think that was the issue. Anyways, the issue's solved. We took a look and the issue's solved. So hopefully the audio should be a lot better moving forward. Welcome everyone. So let's begin breaking down what's going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin is continually looking concerning. We're falling through several support levels. The 50 SMA on the daily. What else do we have here? We have the 21 weekly SMA that we're below. The 21 exponential moving average. But we are currently finding support on the 200 exponential moving average on the daily, which again happens to coincide with the support zone that I think I've been mentioning for weeks at this point. I've been saying Bitcoin's likely to find support between $43,000 and $41,000, and that's exactly what's happened. So I think kind of like the last bastion of support for Bitcoin is that 200 EMA on the daily and this 41 to 43K zone. If we break down from this zone, that's not good at all. Very bad news bears. In that case, I think we're falling anywhere from 38,000 to about 37,000. That's where volume really starts to build up. And then if that doesn't hold, our next stop is $34,000. Now, something that we all want to be cognizant of is how far we've fallen. So far, Bitcoin has had pretty much a 35% correction, which if we take into account what has happened historically in the previous bull runs, is nothing out of the ordinary. On my other screen here, I'm currently pulling up a chart. This chart is by Altcoin Daily, another popular crypto YouTube channel. They pump out a lot of good stuff. And right here they highlight the dips we've seen in 2017. 2017, folks, these 30+% corrections happened all the time. So another reason why I'm not worried really about the state of the bull run. Although I am a little bit worried. We are dropping below critical support levels, but I still think most of the evidence points towards us still have plenty more upside and points towards this not being the end of the bull run. Although in the short term, Bitcoin does look concerning. But as long as that 200 exponential moving average on the daily holds, basically just above kind of the January all-time high levels right here, kind of 42K, then I think we might be in the clear. Now, if we start to drop below that, that's our cue that we should be worried. But as long as this holds a support, then we may be in the clear. So, folks, that's what's going on with Bitcoin. Let's talk about Ethereum. I see there's 41 people on the live stream. We only have 12 likes. Folks, smash that like button if you like what we do, you want to support us. If you want more people watching the live stream and hearing about cryptocurrency, smash that like button because it helps out the channel, it helps out with YouTube, with the YouTube algorithm. So everyone, you know, if you could do us that favor, we really appreciate it if you hit that like button and you share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. So that's what's going on with Bitcoin. Let's take a look here at Ethereum. And again, Ethereum, we've been saying on the channel for, it feels like weeks at this point, that Ethereum was very, very overextended, that it needed a correction, it needed a cool off period. We've been letting you guys know pretty much every single live stream that it was just a matter of time before Ethereum started to correct, and it was nothing to be worried about. Darth Razor, I love your videos from India. Thank you very much. Awesome. Shout out to all the Indian folks out there. Appreciate your support. And yeah, look, folks, again, Ethereum, it's quite overextended. We never go up in a straight line forever. If we look at historical price action, what happens? Pump correction, pump correction, pump correction, pump correction, pump correction. What have we had? Massive pump. And so we probably might have a substantial correction. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's something very normal. And we've been letting you guys know for weeks at this point that we were fully expecting this to happen. Ethereum is finding support exactly where predicted, between $32 and $3,300. Folks, you got to stay tuned to these live streams. You got to stay tuned to this channel. Now, what we try and do in terms of trying to time when corrections might begin is we take a look at an impulse and we try and find an exponential moving average that closely hugs the impulse. In this case, it was the 21 exponential moving average on the I believe this was the 6 hour. Let's double check here. Yeah, 21 exponential on the 6 hour. This green line. We can see how it constantly held the entire impulse up. As soon as we started to break below it, that was the beginning of our correction here. And so I think what's going on with Ethereum is that $32, $3,300, I think there's a bunch of clusters of support around this region, around this zone. If that doesn't hold as support, then we're probably falling down, I'd say 3K, but more realistically, 2,900, and then maybe 2,800 to about 2,700. So I think there's kind of two zones we need to look out for. I say 3,000 just because it's psychological level, but I would wager 2,900 is far more relevant. And then aside from that, 28 to about $2,700 is where Ethereum is likely to fall next if we cannot hold $32 to $3,300. And again, even if that happens, I'm not worried whatsoever. Ethereum needs a cool off period. It's had a massive run up over the last several weeks. It's completely normal to be expected. We're going to spend probably a couple days, maybe even a few weeks correcting, consolidating, and after a few weeks of correction, consolidation, then Ethereum will go for its next leg up. It's how the market goes, folks. It's nothing to be worried about. Again, we're seeing the weakness with Ethereum really start to come in, and potential strength with Bitcoin really start to come in, because Bitcoin's been doing nothing but correcting, consolidating for the last, it seems like weeks at this point. And I'm honestly looking for a long at this point. I think Bitcoin cannot just keep falling like this. I do think this bull run still has plenty of upside left. So I'm honestly starting to look for a long with Bitcoin. If we can flip 45K, if we start to see some signs of some strength building up, I'm honestly looking for a long at this point. But we'll see. There's still some concerning things to look out for. We have to hold above that 200 exponential moving average on the daily. If not, very bad news bears, very no bueno. But so eventually, if we start to see on the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing that Ethereum starts to lose against Bitcoin, that's our cue that Ethereum's probably going to correct more, and that Bitcoin might be ready to start taking off. If we see a sharp, quick decline in the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing, that Bitcoin is gaining against Ethereum, that's our cue that maybe Bitcoin is ready to start seeing some momentum to the upside. Now, I do think we're likely to correct to about the 0.06 region here. Sideways price action, a little bit of a build up in volume. So I would not be the least bit surprised if, over the next couple weeks and months, the market ends up looking something like this. And then afterwards, after a correction, that's when Ethereum takes off quite again. So that's kind of what I'm looking out for with the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing. And again, Ethereum dominance, folks. I love Ethereum. If you follow the channel, you know me. I'm an Ethereum fanboy. I'm very bullish about the long-term future of Ethereum. But in the short term, Ethereum's quite overextended, and I think we're just in the beginning stages of a bit of a correction and consolidation phase, in a cool-off phase with Ethereum, which is nothing to be worried about. It's something to be expected. We've been letting you guys know for weeks at this point that we think it's expected, because if we look at Ethereum dominance here, Ethereum dominance being the total value of Ethereum compared to the total value of all cryptocurrency, we see that Ethereum's been steadily gaining dominance in the market. It's strong. We're constantly seeing higher highs and higher lows. But what do we also see here? Pump correction, pump correction, pump correction, pump, We're starting to see some weakness. I think we may be in the beginning stages of some correction. So I fully expect the market to do something like this, fall back down this region, maybe even go down further, come up here, something like this, and then only after a couple days, couple weeks of correction consolidation are we ready for our next leg up. So I fully expect something like this to play out over the next couple days and weeks with Ethereum dominance and Ethereum. Bitcoin dominance, what are we starting to see here? We're starting to see a couple days of just consolidation and sideways price action. Well, no, it's not price action, sideways dominance. Dominance isn't really falling anymore. It's fallen so much. It cannot just keep falling forever. Bitcoin isn't just going to keep falling forever. At least I don't think. I think it's probable, more probable than not, that at some point in the near future, probably within the next couple of weeks, month or two, Bitcoin is going to start to take off and make moves to the upside. So again, I fully expect something like this to play out, or continue to consolidate, go for a bit of a leg up, make a higher low, and then fully take off, maybe to around the 50 percentile region, maybe even a little bit higher, and then only after a couple weeks of Bitcoin, taking the shine of the market, then will the altcoins take over, and will it be time for altcoins to move? So folks, do not be surprised if something like this happens. All right, if we see more consolidation and if we see Bitcoin dominance starting to move up, that's our cue that Bitcoin is going to outperform the altcoins. It's been suppressed for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's not going to be suppressed forever. I think Bitcoin is much stronger than the FUD Elon is spreading, and I think Bitcoin's here to stay. So once Bitcoin starts to bottom out and rip through some of these resistance levels, folks, again, I think a correction with Bitcoin is very healthy, and once this correction is over, Bitcoin might be ready to absolutely fly. So in terms of gauging when Bitcoin will be ready to fly, we need to keep an eye out for Bitcoin dominance. And also, there was one other thing as well here. If we take a look at the RSI for Bitcoin, I'm going to keep mentioning this because this is going to be extremely relevant if we're trying to time when Bitcoin is ready to take off here. So let's look up this. Let's look at our indicators. So yeah, folks, again, welcome to the live stream. I know I could ramble on a lot here. What are you guys saying? Christopher Miller says that's revealing what I expected. Still got 6 months of upside left, in my opinion. Yeah, I think so. I think in the fall is likely when this bull market is likely to reach some kind of peak. But look, if we're trying to time when Bitcoin is really ready to start ripping up, I've identified one clear resistance level that if we break will be extremely telling for timing when Bitcoin is ready to really start to rip up. So we've been respecting this resistance level on the daily RSI ever since this first major correction here. So what have we been seeing? Lower highs in RSI paired with higher highs in price action. Classic bearish divergence. I have been noting this for months at this point. Back in these levels over here, I was saying, hey guys, we had a lower high in RSI paired with a higher high in price action. That is bearish divergence. Whenever you see higher high in price action and a lower high in RSI, especially in a larger time frame like the daily, that is your cue that the market is losing steam, and that's classic bearish divergence. And we fully saw it play out. Eventually, we kept losing strength, and eventually we started to break down, which makes sense. We can't go up in a straight line forever. Corrections are needed, and the longer we correct, the more we correct, the more sustainable the impulse on the other end will be. So what I'm trying to say here is, once Bitcoin gets above this resistance trend line on the daily RSI, it's going to rip up and it's going to surprise everybody, because Bitcoin's been scaring the living daylights out of everybody for weeks now. But once we start to break above this, Bitcoin is going to shoot up. So that's one of the factors I'm looking out for in terms of trying to time once it's Bitcoin's time to shine in the market. Also, a few things we want to keep in mind here is the total amount of Bitcoin held on reserves. So what have we been seeing over the last few months? Bitcoin has been steadily leaving exchanges. There's been less and less Bitcoin on exchanges. But what have we been seeing in the short term? More and more Bitcoin kind of move in and flood into exchanges here. I really do not like the crypto quant charts here. They have like the weirdest charts. Anyways, we've been seeing, a steady uptick in Bitcoin moving into exchanges, which is typically bearish because that means there's more potential selling pressure on the market. So once we see a reversal in this uptick here, once we see Bitcoin start to leave exchanges again, that's again one factor that will lead us to time once Bitcoin is ready to start moving up. So once we see a downtick, Bitcoin leaving exchanges, that's our cue that, hey, Bitcoin's ready to start to shoot up. So that's another factor that we need to keep our eyes out on. Also, taking a look here at Ethereum. Ethereum has been steadily leaving exchanges. We're not even seeing that uptick of Ethereum moving into exchanges like we've seen with Bitcoin. It's been steadily leaving. So again, the more Ethereum leaves exchanges, the less potential selling pressure and the higher price can potentially go. So those are some of the interesting things going on with Ethereum. Now let's read some more comments here. We got Gold Penny saying Bitcoin going to 30K or less. Elon and elites are making sure of it. I don't think so, but again, that's always possible. Look, there's a lot of reasons to think that Bitcoin's very bearish, and these EMAs are acting really weird at the moment. But yeah, we're breaking below major support levels. But will Bitcoin fall below 30K? I don't think so. I think if Bitcoin fell below 30K, it was the end of the bull market for sure. But we have plenty of support still below us. We have that 200 EMA on the daily. We have a bunch of volume starting to build up kind of like 38,000, 37,000. We have a fib level right here, 41,000. So we have plenty of support below us. But let's say Bitcoin did fall below 30K. I think that would be the end of the bull market. Although, we do have the 618, things typically like to retrace to the 618. So, I mean, that's like very thin support. If we're that bearish, then oof, it's kind of worrisome. Now, there's lots of arguments saying that, we're possibly entering kind of a 2013, 2014 scenario where back in 2013, 2014, Bitcoin had a double top kind of thing. So, I mean, something like that is possible. But look, until, as long as Bitcoin remains above that 200 EMA on the daily, I think the worst may be behind Bitcoin. And this could potentially have been a bottom. But we still have to see. We want to see a couple more daily candles close above here. We want to see consolidation. We want to see attempts of retesting resistance. And want to see breakthrough resistance. So, we still need to keep a close eye on Bitcoin here. So, Great Oaks from Little Acorns, any small gem, altcoins, you've been stoked on 100%. There's plenty of low cap gems. And folks, look, we're kind of wrapping up with our market update here. I want to give you guys a bit of an update on our 1K to 10K challenge. I wanted to take this live stream and look through a bunch of different projects and kind of form a watch list for our 1K to 10K challenge. Update you guys on what I'm buying, when I plan on taking profits, that kind of thing. Also, I'm currently in one project for a 1K to 10K challenge that is doing very well. So I want to give an update with that. And also, again, just run through some different coins and try and select what I think looks like the highest probability setup right now for our next my next swing trade that I'm looking at here, folks. So yeah, let's delve into that without further ado. And also, what I since you mentioned, do you have any low cap gems here? Yes, the center is hands down my favorite low cap gem at the moment, and it does look kind of weak right now. It does look bearish. All right, we had this bullish breakout from these descending triangles, but we got rejected off kind of 43, 45 cents. That was a very relevant zone. Right, we were also forming kind of this ascending channel or below that ascending channel. So the center does look kind of bearish and kind of weak in the short term here. But I like the fundamentals of this thing, and this thing has insanely bullish catalyst this quarter. So honestly, I'm not too worried about the short-term future of this thing. I'm concerned about the long term. So the short term doesn't really matter for me. And if anything, this is potentially a fantastic buy the dip opportunity, especially if we can get above 28 cents and hold above that 618. Then the center might be ready to potentially start moving again to the upside. And again, you don't want to chase pumps. You want to buy dips. So this project thing has great fundamentals. It's dipping right now, so not financial advice. But if I hadn't already bought, most of everything I could, I'd be buying right now. Again, that's not financial advice, but very bullish on this thing long term. It's a low cap gem competitor to Basic Attention Token. Again, they're releasing their browser and their mainnet this quarter, so that's kind of my favorite low cap gem at the moment. But just to update you guys on the one project I got in for this 1K to 10K challenge, right here I got into Audius. I got into Audius at about, I think it was $1.80. So let's measure how much I'm up right now. So I'm currently up about, let's see, about like 20% on Audius here so far. And again, I'm not even looking for a 20% move. I think this could probably fully make a lot more gains than that. I fully expect this thing to eventually break out bullishly, retest this level. So I'm probably going to start to take some profits at around maybe $3 for about a 70% ROI, and then keep a little bit to retest all-time highs for about maybe 176% ROI with Audius here if we do eventually retest all-time highs. So if I can just state that a bit more clearly, my plan with Audius here is to take a little bit of profits once you break out bullishly at $3, maybe sell half my position, and then keep half to ride it to all-time highs and sell about a quarter of my position, and then keep a quarter as a moon bag to see how high we can go for kind of just our 1K to 10K challenge. And we're using kind of like the Millionaire of the Moon funds. Personally, for my personal bags, I've been accumulating the shit out of this thing at $1.55, also at $1.75. So yeah, those are the two places in which I've been buying this thing, fully based off kind of the 100 exponential moving average on the daily. This light blue line has continually held as support, and I was letting our people know all the live streams, hey guys, we're testing this thing again. This is where I would be buying. Again, not financial advice, and we're currently up at the moment. But ultimately with Audius here, we just want to wait to see what way we break out. If we take a look at how much more time we have within this thing, look, I think this thing's like going to break out likely within the week. Within the week, we're going to break out of this pattern, which we've been consolidating for months. So if we can break out bullishly, if this thing has a good shot of really taking off here. So Audius, I'm definitely bullish on long term. I like the fundamentals of this thing a lot, and so that's why I chose Audius. So that's what's going on with that. Now I wanted to show you guys Atani, but it seems like I need to do a bit of an update right now. So folks, Atani is the channel sponsor. We're using Atani for this challenge. What Atani is, it's an exchange aggregator. With Atani, you can connect all your exchanges and trade, buy and sell, all through one dashboard. So it makes our lives a whole lot easier. So during this 1 to 10K challenge, if you guys want to follow along with us, I really encourage you to check out Atani, because we're going to be potentially trading coins from a bunch of different platforms and a bunch of different exchanges. So instead of having to sign into all these different exchanges every time you want to place a trade, you just download Atani. You connect your different exchanges to Atani through API keys. Atani has a very simple tutorial on their website. We have a link for that down in the description below. So if you guys want to help us out and make your life easier, check out Atani. There's a link down in the description below. They also have very helpful tax features. So once we make 1K to 10K and it's time to do taxes, all we do is we go to Atani, we click a button, it prints out a tax form sheet, and there we go. We just hand that in and do taxes that way. It'll make our lives so much easier. Now, no one wants to think about taxes, but we're all eventually going to have to pay taxes. So we highly recommend you check out Atani, and it's currently free. So make sure you check out Atani. Link for everything is down in the description. So that's why we're using Atani. Again, makes our lives easier. So whenever we buy or sell anything, we'll be letting you guys know exactly on the live stream when and what we're buying and kind of our reasoning with that. So just a bit of an update. I'm currently up on Audius. I fully expect it to break up bullishly just because I think the fundamentals are very bullish, and I probably plan to take some profits here at kind of $3 and then all-time highs. Now I kind of want to give you guys a little bit of an update here on VECHAIN, because VECHAIN is a project I like, but that's down quite a lot here. Like, we're down 46% from all-time highs. We're breaking below critical support here with VECHAIN. This is the 200 exponential moving average on the 6 hour. We have constantly held that as support historically during major corrections. See here, pump, dump, held it as support, pump, dump, support, pump, dump, support. And unfortunately, we're breaking below it right now, which is very bearish. I personally think that kind of falling to about 14 cents is very realistic for VECHAIN right now. So again, if we cannot kind of get above this here in the short term, 14 cents to about 13.5 cents is probably where VECHAIN's going next. And hey, that's potentially a great buy the dip opportunity if you've been interested to get into VeChain. And if we fall down that low, that'd be nearly a 50% correction. And look, VeChain has super solid fundamentals. And if this bull market is indeed still a bull market, are we likely to drop more than 50%? I mean, well, it's possible. I wouldn't think so. So honestly, anywhere around this range, especially if you're willing to hold long term, maybe is not the worst place to dollar cost average. Of course, with that being said, breaking below this major support level is very bearish and makes it more likely that we can continue to see moves to the downside. And again, I think 14 cents, maybe just above 14 cents where volume starts to build up, is where I would be looking to place my buy order. So maybe like 14.3, 14.4, around that region is where I would be looking to buy into VeChain if I were so interested here. Christopher Miller says, be careful with diversifying, with over diversifying. Yeah, no, 100% over diversifying. You know, if you over diversify, then you're essentially just buying like a market index, right? Yeah, you know, definitely be selective. You know, with the projects you like for sure. Ooh, that ACC sounds interesting. We'll check out ACC. I'm not sure about ACC, but I am very interested in OCC. We'll take a look at that. Also, Great Oaks from Little Acorn says, do your own research. I'll look into Decenter. Good call on Kusama. Yeah, man, Decenter, my favorite low cap gem right now. Also, Kusama. Let's take a look at Kusama, because Kusama is always insanely interesting. I'm very bullish on it long term. And like I said on yesterday's live stream, Kusama is my favorite combination of kind of super solid, kind of safe, but also has a good return on investment potential over the long term, especially because it has a lot of catalysts quickly approaching. So Kusama looks very interesting and may perhaps be ready to take off here. Like, let's take a look at Kusama here. What are we saying? What are our indicators saying? All right, so indicators are mostly bullish, although we have had a bearish crossover on the stochastic side on the daily. Let's take a look at the 12 hour. We're starting to see some weakness with the MACD. 10. Yeah, oof. We're not getting a strong confluence of reasons of direction here. 6 hour looking strong. 4 hour strong, although not a confluence of reasons. Like the MACD is looking good, but the RSI is looking bad. So I'm not too confident of direction because we have different indicators pointing in different directions. Yeah, so I'm not confident of direction with Kusama based off of our indicators. So what I would say with Kusama here is that as long as we continue to remain above all-time highs, previous all-time highs, here kind of like 550, 560, and above this volume here at 575, then perhaps we may be ready to break out bullishly. Like, look, Kusama was forming, had a massive impulse, massive correction in a downward moving channel, and broke out bullishly after retesting the breakout point. This is very bullish. So if we can remain above these previous levels, I mean, the pumpage for Kusama might just be beginning. And so once we're ready, once we're done consolidating in this region, again, no guarantee we continue to consolidate. There's no guarantee we hold support here. But as long as we hold support, if we can hold support here, I think the next impulse takes us to about $700 for Kusama. So definitely do not sleep on Kusama. Kusama is my number one kind of high cap safe play right now, which again, I don't mean to do it a disservice by saying that, because I do think has a good chance of doing very well over the long term. So that's what's going on with that. DJ Dark Killer says only 1.6 million supply, newly listed on Coinbase TRB. Let's take a look at TRB. So what I want to start doing here is taking a look at different things for kind of this 1K to 10K challenge. Yeah, so a few people I think asked me to take a look here at TRB. So I'll definitely take a look here. Also, Great Oaks from Little Acorns, appreciate the support. Look at fundamentals for HBAR, Google, Boeing, IBM, Layer 3, submitted white paper to Congress, Fed Reserve today for CBDC. They don't market at all. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, look, if there's a project out there that's building a lot behind the scenes and there's not a lot of hype behind it, that's what you want. You want to find what's undervalued, or what hasn't pumped yet, and what could pump in the future. So look, I mean, who knows? Different projects, they like to promise a lot, and who knows how much of that actually manifests. But if they're really building behind the scenes and there's not that hype behind it yet, those are the kinds of projects you want to look out for. So let's take a look here at H bar, and then we'll take a look at Teller as well. I believe we took a look at H bar the other day, and it did look quite interesting. So let's take a look here. Yeah, I thought I had this pulled up on one of my other charts. So let's see. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, again, H bar, while it did look interesting, we're correcting quite a bit. So H bar in the short term does look weak. I'd say like kind of like the last saving grace for H bar is remaining above 30 cents here. That's the VP point of control. So if we can hold above 30 cents, then we have a good chance of retesting some of these upper levels. But until we do, H bar is looking weak. We're seeing lower highs and lower lows. Yeah, H bar is looking weak, folks. Not too strong here in the short term. But if we can hold 30 cents, break above this red resistance line, then I think we can retest kind of like this 34-cent range. If we can get above 34, 35 cents, and then this white trend line, then H bar might fully be ready to like really explode here. But until we start getting past a few of these resistance levels, then I think in the short term, we're still a little bit bearish with H bar. So I think H bar just needs some more time to start proving its strength currently. So that's going on with that. Let's take a look here at TRB. Let's see if TRB looks interesting. Yeah, and also I'm gonna start running through some stuff here, some different charts, some different potential things I want to look at for this next swing trade I want to get into after Audius. So we'll start really delving into that stuff there. But let's take a look here, see what we can see. All right, so interesting. Now we zoom out to the daily here. I'm gonna draw a fib. I love my fib levels. Let's see. All right, okay, so a few things here. We dropped below the 0.5 and this previous all-time high, so that is a bit concerning here. Although we do have a lot of volume below us, so that's good to see. So what I'd want to see here with TRB is hold above these clusters of support. Actually, this is a very, very critical moment for TRB, because if we zoom out here, we can see all this sideways price action, all this right about here. We're kind of in the middle of that. If we can't hold this region as support, if we fall below these previous tops, that's very, very bad news. So I really wouldn't want to see this drop much farther than it is right now. If this drops below 80 bucks, I would be worried about kind of like the short-term future of this thing. As long as we could hold above 80 bucks, kind of some of these previous tops, I think we might be in the clear. But if we start to drop below too much farther than here, below 80 bucks, if we make a new lower low below this wick, again, I would be worried about the short-term future of this thing. Ultimately, I think we can fully just base the next short-term impulse based off kind of this descending triangle situation that we're in. So we're right up against this apex here. If we get any kind of bullish divergence, that's our sign that we could probably start seeing moves to the upside. So I'm actually somewhat interested in this thing as a trade, because if we can indeed get above this red resistance, then I could probably see us impulse quite a good bit here. Yeah, probably all the way up to maybe just over 100 bucks. Let's see. If I longed here, yeah, maybe 14, 18% move to the upside. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna add this to my watch list. So TRB made the watch list. It looks interesting, all right, but I want to see some bullish divergence. I want to see some signs of some strength, because right now we're in a very, very critical place. Because if we make a new lower low here, if we drop any lower than we have right now, that's quite concerning. So we want to see if we can maintain above the current level. Like I do not want to see a new lower low in the short term. If we make a new lower low in the short term, very, very bad news bears, very no bueno. So that's what's going on with that. Now, let's keep looking here. I had a bunch of stuff already, so why don't I take a second to run through some of these charts to see if anything is interesting. No, that wasn't the right chart. No, not the right chart. This one. And before interesting? Not really. So The only thing about Ampleforth is that we very clearly just move in this range, sideways range a lot. We're below volume, not crazy interested in this thing. Anchor Protocol, that's one I like a lot. Let's see if once this chart loads here, how interesting it really looks. So while this chart is loading, oh, it seems like I'm buffering good bit here. Let me see if you guys can actually hear me. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, I was just buffering on my end. All right, no, I think we're good. Okay, and yeah, look, with regards to HBAR as well, I'll definitely kind of do some more research, looking at it myself. Again, there's so much competition when it comes to that, smart contract ecosystem space. So I'm not too sure how much room there is for winners. But if HBAR is indeed, has a lot of development, then that's something interesting to keep in mind here. So, ANC, this is a project I like a lot. I own, but we're seeing some weakness here. We're seeing a lot of weakness. So we can clearly draw a trend line based off this wick, this price action, and just extend that. See, as soon as we broke down, we even went back up to retest and got rejected. We fell through our fib level here. So this is looking weak. Ultimately, I think ANC is probably going to fall back down to, I'd say, $4.75, $4.80, this peak in volume. And so for those who don't know, ANC Anchor allows you to earn 20% APY, fixed APY on your stable coin staking. So once it comes time to take profits, I'm selling and definitely putting some money into Anchor and stake it and earn 20% APY. So I'm very, very bullish on this thing long term. But in the short term here, we do look concerning. We do look weak. So again, I think this thing's probably going to fall back down to 480, 475. If you're interested in this thing, if you kind of like the idea, I would definitely start to dollar cost average around there. We can also see how this is historically a very, very price reactive area around here, about 480, 490, 475, kind of this range here. This is definitely where I would want to be buying if you had any kind of interest in this thing. Around here, 100% where I'd be buying. Let's say that doesn't hold, we're probably going to fall back down to about 440 to about 430, retest the 618, again, historically price reactive zone, and that is where I would be placing my second set of buy orders for ANC. We're also forming a bit of this descending channel, so once we get above this red trend line, that's our cue that we're probably done correcting. But until we get above this white trend line, ANC does look weak in the short term. So that's what I'm looking out for with ANC. Again, I'm not gonna. This is not a high priority play right now because it just doesn't look ready to break out. But let's keep looking here. Matic looks very, very interesting. What I'm saying here with Matic is that if we can break above $1.80, we might be ready to impulse to maybe $2.40, $2.50. So Matic, stupidly bullish. I cannot believe the kind of price action we've been seeing with this thing. And look, as long as Ethereum continues to have scaling issues and gas issues, which I think will be the case for quite a while longer, Matic will continue to look attractive, or Polygon will continue to look attractive, and likely continue to do well over long term. So if we get above $1.80, $1.90, I think our next impulse could be $2.40, $2.50. So as a trade, I'm definitely going to start setting some alerts here in real time. So if we start to break out bullishly, I definitely am interested in this thing as a trade. So set my alerts. There we go. Let's keep looking here. What looks interesting? Chainlink, folks. I'm very, very glad I brought this up. Chainlink. I love Chainlink. I've always said never chase pumps, chase corrections. You want to buy the dip. And Chainlink is dipping and retesting a previous all-time high level from back in February. If I were looking at dollar cost averaging to Chainlink, I would be buying right now. Of course, it's not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I would do because can't get in trouble here. But folks, bottom line is if you're looking for a spot to dollar cost average your way in Chainlink, I personally would 100% be buying right now, with the understanding that it's of course always possible that we could fall further. But let's kind of measure the correction we've had with Chainlink here. We've had a 33% correction. That's quite a substantial correction. And also, if we take a look here at Chainlink BTC, we can see that Chainlink, I still think, has plenty of room to upside, plenty of room to the upside because of the Chainlink Bitcoin pairing. So folks, here's the thing. This chart is stupidly bullish for Chainlink. We have spent months and months and months, ever since August 2020, Chainlink has been losing against Bitcoin up until April, up until this last month. Chainlink has been exploding parabolically. All this price action has all been while it's been losing against Bitcoin. So what do you think Chainlink can do now that it's gaining against Bitcoin? It's making higher highs. Folks, Chainlink is stupidly bullish long term. We've had a correction. We're seeing consolidation with the Chainlink Bitcoin bearing. Of course, it's possible that we could fall further. That's always possible. But we had a substantial correction. And if you're looking for spot to DCA, I would. I'm not telling you what to do, but I would literally be buying right now. Of course, with the understanding that it's always possible that we could fall further. Now, something else I want to do right here, which is, boom. Okay. See. So if we draw, I know there's a lot of lines here, but if we draw a line based off this wick, again, this wick, and just extend that, that's fully where we found our support. So we are respecting that trend line. So I'm actually going to remove some stuff here that's currently a little bit less relevant to perhaps, make things a little bit less confusing here. So I think kind of this is probably the most relevant thing with Chainlink. And again, we're fully respecting that trend line. So I think right now is probably a good time to get into Chainlink. Again, not financial advice. I don't want to get myself in kind of trouble, but I'm very bullish on Chainlink long term. And right now, after a dip, dips are for buying. You don't want to chase pumps. You don't want to buy Chainlink here. You want to be buying Chainlink here, because I think over long term, whether Chainlink goes on to correct further or find support here, over long term, I think we're probably going to see a several $100 Chainlink this cycle this year. And of course, I could be wrong, but if we're going to see a couple $100, I mean, who cares if we drop 5-10% in the short term, 20% more in the short term, right? The only thing concerning about that is once we start to fall more than 40-50%, that's kind of uncommon in bull markets. So at that point, we kind of got to get worried. But I'm a long-term holder. I'm looking for those several X gains, so I don't really care what happens in the short term. And personally, it's a great place to be buying, in my opinion. So let's read a few of your comments here. I can really ramble along. So ISOXX says, did we talk Matic today already? Just tuning in. Yeah, we talked Matic, but I could briefly just tell you my thoughts. If we break above 180, 190, our next major fib level is kind of like at $2.40 to $2.50. So while it has had a massive impulse, more of a correction is always possible. If we flip 180, we flip 190, $2.40, $2.50, it becomes much more realistic for Matic. That's what's going on with Matic. Do you think Aave would hit 5,000 this bull run? Depends. DJ Dark Killer, is 5,000 possible for Aave? Well, I mean, theoretically possible. That is a bit of an optimistic scenario for Aave. But look, if the whole cryptocurrency market cap gets to about the high trillions in terms of market cap, I mean, it's not completely out of the question. I think a few $1,000s with Aave is pretty realistic. Based off some charts I've seen, I think maybe $3,000-$4,000 is somewhat realistic for Aave. $5,000 I think is theoretically in the playbook. Look, one thing we want to look out for is how high the total cryptocurrency market cap goes. So based just off a quick Fibonacci extension, I think kind of $2,600 for Aave is like a pretty reasonable long-term prediction. I think 2,600 like over the next maybe 6 months from now, right? Maybe a quarter, 2 quarters from now, $2,600 is I think fully realistic for Aave, in my opinion. It's insanely bullish, great fundamentals, and something we got to be aware of too is like I think Aave is one of those projects that's a bit more, that could be a bit more resilient through a bear market just because of its use case. Folks, look, Bitcoin is here to stay. Its use case has never been better. The adoption has never been greater. So once the rich and powerful and people who have money in the world realized that you can stake stable coins and earn 5%, 6%, 8%, 10%, that you can get loans for like next to no interest. Crypto is a place where your money is best treated in the world. So once these major financial institutions can start to trust crypto and start to trust that things are truly decentralized, then they're going to bring in their billions, they're going to bring in their trillions. And Aave is set up to be one of the blue chips, one of the leaders in the DeFi space going forward. So I'm immensely bullish on Aave over the long term. Even the short term, Aave looks stupidly interesting because, again, great fundamentals, but we've been doing nothing but correcting for months. It's just been moving sideways, boring people out, shaking people out. So what happens when people, are constantly getting shaken out? Like we pump, we dump, we pump, we dump, we pump, we dump, just doing nothing but moving within the sideways range. But we're finally starting to see some strength, right? We made a new all-time high. And just to show you a bit of what I'm talking about here is like, just take a look at this price action here for Aave. So we were constantly just doing nothing but falling down, right? But what are we seeing here? What's the new trend we're seeing? We're seeing a reversal of this downward moving channel to an upward moving channel. So Aave is clearly reversing from its months of consolidation. We're above the previous all-time high. So I think Aave might even be ready to really make a move here in the short term because, again, great fundamentals, and it's been suppressed for several months. And if we can remain above that previous all-time high at kind of like $580, this might be ready to shoot up. And based off our Fibonacci extension, if we can get above kind of 615, get above kind of like maybe even 650, this could really start to rip up, folks. Like I think 711's our next target, just over 800 next target, over 900 next target. I mean, Aave might be ready to jump in like these $100 increments soon here if we can remain above this level here. And again, all this is dependent upon Bitcoin and Ethereum not completely capitulating into nothingness. Like on the off chance that we did hit the top and that Bitcoin won't recover, like Bitcoin just continues to rip down 5K, rip down 10K, break below 30K. Then at that point, right, the market might start to say, hey, this isn't looking like a bull market. That's looking like a bear market. So again, all this bullish continuation with Kusama, with Chainlink, with Aave, it's all contingent upon Bitcoin and Ethereum somewhat keeping it together. Like corrections are normal, but if we start to correct past like certain points, it becomes more and more likely that, hey, this is starting to look less like a bull market and more like a bear market. So again, keeping an eye on Bitcoin, keeping an eye on Ethereum is 100% necessary. That's why we always start off live streams with a Bitcoin and Ethereum update, because Bitcoin and Ethereum lead the market. We need to follow what they're doing if you want to understand what the rest of the market can do long term. And look, we want a healthy Bitcoin over the long term because, as I explained earlier in the live stream, once Bitcoin does decide to stop correcting and start shooting up, Bitcoin dominance is going to shift, the pairings are going to shift, the liquidity in the market is going to shift, and the altcoins are going to pause temporarily and correct temporarily, and the spotlight and the liquidity and the hype will move back into Bitcoin, all right? And so in the short term, while that's happening, altcoins will pause. But over the long term, the higher Bitcoin goes, the higher the ceiling for the altcoins. So Bitcoin ripping up quickly is a problem for the altcoins in the short term. But over the long term, it's a good thing because it raises the ceiling, it raises the amount of potential liquidity and money that could move in the altcoin. So it's a good thing. We want to see a healthy Bitcoin over the long term. So if you see Bitcoin start to rip up and alts are pausing, it's nothing to panic about. It's nothing to freak out about. While it's going to suck kind of in the short term while it's happening, over the long term, it's what we want to see. So give me a second here, folks. I ordered food today and I didn't get my coffee. Very unfortunate. I need the coffee to function. Anyways, I just got my coffee here. So, folks, let's keep going here. There's a lot to talk about, a lot I want to look at. Aave does look insanely interesting. Again, we're doing kind of this 1K to 10K challenge, so I kind of want to go through a few charts, and I'm actually going to go through CoinGecko right now and try and find some projects that I think are undervalued to add them to my watch list to potentially move into next. Right now, I'm currently in Audius for our 1K to 10K challenge. I got in at about $1.80, and I got our VIP Discord members in at $1.55 and $1.70. So, folks, look, if you guys want to support us, and if you want to get access to our VIP Discord group where we talk about low cap gems, we talk about setups, we talk about where things are bottoming out, we talk about price targets, all that good stuff. Check out our VIP Discord. You get access through our Patreon. Link for everything is down in the description below. And folks, well, I'm not going to give away details until things are more finalized. What I will let you guys know is that if you've been sitting on the fence, it probably pays to get in early, because we will be making changes to our VIP Discord group in the near future here, adding even more value to our members. So if you've been sitting on the fence, you might want to consider possibly getting early, because after we implement some changes, there might be a lot of changes. So I don't want to say too much, but what I will say is it pays to be early. So folks, check out our VIP Discord group. Get access through our Patreon. Link for everything is down in the description below. So that's what's going on with that in Aave. Now, what I wanted to do here is go through a few things here. Let me perhaps answer some few questions. Let me see if anything interesting here. What to buy more ADA but still skyrocketing again? Yeah, and again, don't chase bumps. You want to chase dips, right? Ampleforth governance token is a hidden gem as well. Check it out. Low supply, low market cap. Sure, interesting. Okay. David Betts says intrinsically altcoins really are not set by Bitcoin but are controlled by Bitcoin, right? I do not understand that question. Maybe you could rephrase there a bit, David Betts. Avril Gupta says already stakes ADA for Sunday swap. Cool, man. Fahwad Gamey says, what about the Shiba burning 41%? Should I be buying right now? Look, I don't touch shitcoins. Look, if you want to chase things with no fundamentals that have pumped several X's, you do you, boo. But it's honestly, look, I want to try and not be insulting, because I really don't. I don't mean to be mean-spirited, and I don't mean to insult anyone, and I don't want to be rude to anyone. And look, these meme coins are perhaps fun, interesting, have some use case, and maybe they help noobs get in. But I also want to honestly share my concerns when it comes to these meme coins, because I do think, while it's good to avoid being rude, I also want to make it very clear that I think there are legitimate concerns with these meme coins like Doge, Mooncoin, Shiba, because they have next to no fundamentals, and they have already done many X's. So, like, again, my opinion with these meme coins is that the money was already made. Like, the smart money has been accumulating for months. If you're chasing this kind of parabolic pump now on a coin with no fundamentals, I mean, what are you doing? Like, look, the money was already made. People who have been in for months, that was the smart money. They got in before there was any hype, before anyone believed in it. And look, I wasn't smart enough to get into this, but there were a lot of people who've been in this thing for months and months, way before the hype came in. But you don't want to chase this kind of parabolic growth, folks. That the money moves were already made by the smart money that had been months before. Anyone coming in now is honestly just dumb money, because here's the thing. There's safer options than meme coins. Like Ethereum is much safer than Dogecoin, Shiba, or Safe Moon, Safe Mars, whatever the hell. And then there's coins that probably have higher return on investment potentials. So whatever way you slice it, I think there's no good argument for these meme coins. They have next to no fundamentals. And they've already done several X's. So chasing these pumps, I mean, look, if people want to have some fun, great. But look, I've talked to people close to me who have said things like, "Oh, I think Shiba is going to go to 50 cents." And if we take the look at the market cap of Shiba and the supply of Shiba, what is this, like a trillion supply? Market cap is already 8 billion. I mean, for this to go to 50 cents, it would have to do, I don't even know how many X's, but it's next to impossible that this thing would even reach a cent. So a lot of people, I think, really are a bit naive when it comes to the potential still left in meme coins. Like, look, Doge, maybe it does a 2x, maybe it does a 3x, maybe it does a 5x, but a lot of people are in these coins thinking that they're going to do 100x's, and that's pretty much next to impossible at this point. So, I mean, because there's so many better options, they have no fundamentals, and the growth is perhaps limited at this point. I mean, I just do not feel right shilling these meme coins, and I see a lot of people doing them, shilling these meme coins. And look, if you're just trying to have some fun with a little bit of money, okay, that's a different conversation. But if you believe that Shiba can do 100x from here, if you're putting in large quantities of money, I would be very worried for you. So again, none of this financial advice, but I just feel like the money with these coins are already made. And there's coins out there with much more solid fundamentals that could probably do 100x's. Again, no one knows that for sure. But look, I'm working on a write-up right now for our VIP Discord group members for 3 low cap gems that don't even have tokens yet, that I'm going to be following closely. And once they release their tokens, our VIP Discord members are going to be the first to find out. And I think these 3 projects that I'm currently doing some research on and doing, working on a write-up, all have high probability chance to do 10x's, 50x's, 100x's over the long term, because they have solid fundamentals and solid use case. Not like Shiba, that's like a derivative of a coin with no fundamentals that's already done insane x's. Like the money moves were already made. It was the smart money. Look, the smart money got in back when nobody knew about it. Getting in now after it's gone through a massive hype wave, probably not the best move. And look, again, with that being said, it's of course possible that it could continue to do well. It's of course possible that, hey, maybe it does a 2x, maybe it does a 3x, maybe a 5x, maybe in some insane world it does a 10x. But the risk to reward ratio at this point makes no sense for myself. So that's again, I really go off when people mention these meme coins. You guys got to like stop asking me about them, because again, I hope I don't insult anyone. I'm really just trying to genuinely share my honest concerns with these meme coins. And again, like if it's just a bit of money, you're just trying to have some fun. You just want to say you own some Dogecoin. Okay, fine, that's a different conversation. But if it's any kind of real money, and if you expect 100x, you probably have a rude awakening in store for you. So that's what's going on with that. So we have Kanji saying, aMillionortheMoon, do you think this is the bottom for BTC? Just joined. Yeah, so folks, for those just joining in, at the beginning of the live stream, we did kind of a market update where we ran through Bitcoin, we ran through Ethereum. So if you guys want to know if I think this is indeed the bottom for Bitcoin, you gotta smash that like button, because there's 208 people watching, only 74 likes. So if we can get above 100 likes, I'll let you know if I think Bitcoin is reached its bottom or not, or what I think is happening with Bitcoin in the short term. If not, folks, you'll just have to stay tuned. Go back to the beginning of the live stream. Folks, smash that like button. We put in a lot of time and effort to break down and simplify what are the most important takeaways with the market in each coins. So if you guys want to help us out by doing that simple thing, hitting that like button helps out the channel, because it helps out with the YouTube algorithm. The more people that like, the more people that share, YouTube will share your channel and will share your live stream more. So it's a very simple, easy way to help us out. Just hit that like button. It helps out and improves the YouTube algorithm. Okay, we've got 100 likes. Awesome, guys. Appreciate you. So honestly, main takeaway with Bitcoin are 2 things here. We're finding support, first off, exactly where predicted. And I know that's kind of like a trope, and then kind of like crypto YouTuber realm, like who is it? Carl from the Moon. He says exactly as predicted. But look, for those who've been following our live streams, we've been seeing for weeks at this point. I've been seeing for weeks that if Bitcoin continues to break down, I think 43 to 41K is where we go. That's exactly where we fell to. That's exactly where we found our support. And that's exactly where the 200 exponential moving average on the daily is. So as long as we can continue to hold that, maybe the worst is behind that. If we start to break below this, very, very bad news bears. But if we continue to hold this, maybe it could have been the bottom. Now, in terms of timing, so that's the number one most important thing in terms of support for Bitcoin. Is this the bottom? Well, if we continue to hold this, could have been the bottom. Now, when do we know when Bitcoin is ready to break out? How do we know? What signs can we look out for? I want to give you guys the number one most important sign that we need to look out for if we want to know, and if we want to time exactly when Bitcoin is ready to really, really start ripping up, right? So the one thing we need to look out for, in my opinion, is the daily RSI. Folks, hear me now, quote me later, because once this happens, I'm going to be bragging about it nonstop. And if you follow our live streams, you'll be able to brag about this too. This is going to be insanely, insanely relevant for Bitcoin here. This trend line on the RSI. And for those of you maybe not crazy familiar with TA, you might say to yourself, why is this such a big deal? We are looking at a daily macro time frame. This is a very, very big deal. What have we been seeing here with price action? We've had higher highs in price action paired with lower highs in RSI. Classic bearish divergence. Whenever you see this, whenever you see a higher high in price action paired with a lower high in RSI, especially on a higher time frame, that's telling you that uptrend is losing steam and momentum and that the uptrend is weakening over time. So we have been fully respecting this resistance trend line here on the RSI. So once Bitcoin, next couple of weeks, maybe in a month, whenever Bitcoin decides to get above this red trend line that we've been respecting all throughout our parabolic impulse, then I think Bitcoin at that point will be ready to absolutely shoot up. So what I'm looking out for is maybe we reach a bottom here, but maybe we consolidate, maybe we mess around these regions for maybe a couple of days, couple of weeks. But when do we know Bitcoin's ready to shoot up and explode? Once we see bullish divergence on this red trend line, once the RSI gets above this red trend line here in the RSI on the daily, I think that is when we see Bitcoin really start to blow up in a crazy manner and go up 5K, go up 10K, in a week, in a month, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm looking out for in terms of timing a bottom with Bitcoin, 200 exponential moving average on the daily, and timing when the next parabolic impulse is this daily RSI for Bitcoin. So I thought I saw in the comments here, take a look at BPro. I definitely want to take a look at BPro because last time I looked, BPro looked insanely interesting. It was on the verge of breaking out. So I think BPro is honestly, because look, we're doing this 1K to 10K challenge, right? Where we're letting you guys know on our live streams what we're buying, when we're selling, that kind of thing. Excuse me. We're doing it all through our channel sponsor, Atani. For those who don't know, Atani is an exchange aggregator where if you download Atani, link for Atani is down in the description below. That's what we're using to trade off of, because Atani, you can connect all your exchanges and buy and sell through one platform, and it's free. They have very easy tutorials on their website, so check out Atani down in the description below. That's what we're using to trade. So instead of hopping in and out of like dozens of different exchanges to trade 1K to 10K, we're just doing it all through Atani. Atani also has very helpful tax features. So once it comes time to do taxes, we just hit a button, prints out a tax form, makes our lives a whole lot easier. And by the way, if I didn't mention, it's free. So they do have a paid version, but they have a free version as well with tons of functionality. We're using the free version, so check out Atani. Link for that is down in the description below. Anyways, folks, I'm currently in Audius. We've literally called the bottoms for Audius pretty much to the T, perfectly. I got our VIP Discord members in at $1.55, $1.70, and right now we're at $2.30. Audius seems like it wants to break out bullishly here in the near future. So folks, you gotta stay tuned to these live streams. We're always calling bottoms. We're always calling price targets. Again, not always. We're not right 100% of the time. But for those who've been following us for a while, I mean, we're right most of the time. No one's right all the time, right? Like, I don't claim to be a perfectionist. We get things wrong, but we're right most of the times because I think we're pretty confident when it comes to technical analysis, and technical analysis helps give you an understanding of probabilities. When it comes to TA and charting and all this stuff, nobody knows anything for sure. I don't know support and resistance and price targets 100% for sure, but through understanding TA, you can get a better sense of probabilities and what's more probable and less probable. And the more indicators you have pointing the same direction, the more confident you could be of direction. So yeah, folks, check out Atani, and Audius is very interesting here. But let's talk about BPro, because BPro looks insanely interesting just based off the charts here, because we've been correcting, consolidating for months in this macro descending triangle. We're breaking out bullishly, but we're not seeing a whole lot of strength in the short term here. What I would want to see with BPro is get above these clusters of volume at kind of 1.3 cent and then 1.4 cent. Once this thing starts to hold above 1.5 cents, that's when I'd be interested at this thing. So I'm actually gonna place an alert right above volume here, right above 1.5 cents. So once we can get above 1.5 cents and hold this, I think we're gonna impulse up to 1.8 cents. And if we can flip this fib level, we're impulsing up to this volume, and then impulsing here, and then impulsing there. And so the more resistance levels we break above, the more likely it is that we see further bullish continuation. But ultimately here, if we can make a new high above 1.8 cents, above these 2 wicks here, BPro could really fly. So I'm actually going to move BPro to the top of my watch list here. I think this is currently the next thing I want to move into once I decide to take some profits on Audius. So folks, I bought Audius live on one of our live streams at $1.80. Folks, you gotta stay tuned to this channel. So once this thing, I think, reaches about $3, I'll probably take a little bit of profits and maybe move into something like BPro. We'll see. We'll let you guys know live on the live stream. So folks, here's the thing. There's 245 people watching this live stream. There's only 120 likes. If everyone watching this live stream hit the like button right now, we could very easily get over 200 likes. And again, folks, look, helps the channel because it helps out with the YouTube algorithm. So the easiest way to support us and the easiest way for more people to follow the live stream and learn more about crypto and succeed in crypto is to smash that like button. So that being said, let's see what the people are saying. So DJ Dark Killer says, please take a look at Ampleforth governance token Forth. Yeah, so I'll add that to my maybe watch list here. Let's take a look. What's Forth saying? Yeah, I need to become more acquainted with Ampleforth here because I kind of know it tangentially, but I don't know a whole lot about it. So yeah, I'll do this. Let's see here. Oh, we haven't really even talked about Cardano yet, so let's talk about Cardano because Cardano looks very, very interesting on multiple fronts. Forth BTC. All right, I'll add this to my watch list. We'll see. There we go. Okay, added the watch list. I'll take a look at it later. Maybe a different chart. This doesn't look right at the moment. But let's take a look here at Cardano. So again, folks, like I like to say, you don't want to chase pumps. You want to chase corrections. Like Chainlink, for example, was having a pretty gorgeous correction. I would personally, if I was interested in buying Chainlink, if I wanted, if I was trying to find a spot to buy Chainlink, I would literally be buying right now. Not financial advice. Again, it's always possible that we could correct further. But personally, I would be buying here if I were so inclined. Now, moving on to Cardano. I say that to say, look, Cardano's pumped quite a lot, so I would want to wait for more of a pullback. If you were interested in buying Cardano, dollar cost averaging your way into Cardano, don't chase pumps, chase corrections, chase pullbacks. So with Cardano here, we've had quite a substantial run up, so I think we're probably going to have quite a substantial correction. Because what do we always see here, folks? Run up, correction / consolidation. Run up, correction / consolidation. Run up, and what could we see here? Correction / consolidation, right? So wait for that correction, wait for that consolidation. Personally, if I were interested in getting Cardano, I think we're probably likelier than not eventually falling to about $1.75 to about $1.85. About this range here, around $1.80 is where I would start to place some buy orders for Cardano if I were so inclined. I think this is probably where we find our support during a correction here. Also, I'm going to draw a Fibonacci retracement here live to kind of find perhaps more confluence of reasons as to where Cardano can find support. And look, I'll show you guys how to draw fibs and fib retracements live right now. And so fib retracements are very helpful for finding bullish and bearish price targets, support and resistance levels throughout an impulse here. So whenever you're looking at price action and you're trying to ask yourself, hey, how do you know where we can find support and resistance? Well, busting out Fibonacci levels can always serve as confirmation of potential levels. So you draw a Fibonacci retracement from the macro bottom to the all-time high, and you could even draw fib levels on shorter time frames as well. But if you want to get kind of the macro picture, draw from the very bottom to the very top, and that gives you some support / resistance levels that are likely to be relevant moving forward. So we can see here that our next major fib level, the 236, is right here at about $1.90. So I think if we perhaps expand our support range a little bit right here, so I think from about $1.90 to about $1.75 is probably where Cardano corrects to and retraces to over the next few days and weeks here. Again, we've had quite a substantial run up, so a bit of a correction consolidation is nothing to be panicked about. It's something normal that you should expect. Remember, whenever there's a pump, there's always a dump. It's nothing to be afraid of. It happens all the time. It's something to be expected. So, Caveman Hungry says, aMillionortheMoon, check out VECHAIN. We took a look at VECHAIN, did we not? Pretty sure we took a look at VECHAIN. But you know what? Let's take a look at VECHAIN once again if you guys are interested. So let's see what's going on with VECHAIN here. And we still have to take a look at our watch list here. I was actually hoping to go through a bunch of stuff to potentially add to our watch list. Give me a second here, folks. So, VECHAIN, let's take a look. Yeah, VeChain I think is weak. The one thing we need to look out for with VeChain is the 200 exponential moving average on the 6 hours. So 200 6 hour, open it. Oof, yeah. So for me, for VeChain to be bullish in the short term, we need to get above 17 cents, 17.3 cents. Once we can get above 17.3, 17, 3 cents, this region here, this yellow line, that is when VeChain is ready to start making moves to the upside. As long as we remain above that exponential moving average, then I think it becomes far more likely that we retest 14 cents. So if we cannot flip that level, I think 14 cents, just above 14 cents, is probably where we fall down to next. I drew a little bit of a zone here that I think will be relevant moving forward. So that's kind of what I'm looking out for with VeChain. And if you're looking for a spot to buy the dip, maybe placing some buy orders at just above 14 cents, maybe 14.3, just above that volume is where I would do it for sure. So that's what I'm looking out for with VeChain. And look, I think VeChain has great fundamentals, so I'm very bullish on it long term. Capacity says BPro. Yeah, we took a look at BPro. I like BPro a lot. Ultimately, what I would want to see with BPro is a little bit more confirmation of a bullish trend reversal. So I'd want to see us get above this volume here. I would want to see us get above cluster of sideways price action. So if BPro can get above 1.5 cents, I think in that case, I could be a little bit more confident that we're likelier to see more bullish continuation. But as long as we remain below this volume, BPro is still short-term bearish. So again, if we get a bit more confirmation, I have an alert set there, then in that case, I think BPro might be ready to fly. So with that being said, let's answer some more questions here. What do you think about Teller? I'm not too familiar with Teller. I know a lot of you guys have been shilling Teller to me. I'm not crazy familiar. I kind of have a passing understanding of what Teller is, but there's tens of thousands of coins out there, folks. I can't be an expert in all of them. But if it is indeed a decentralized Oracle network, okay. I mean, oracles are necessary. There's lots of oracles out there, lots of competition in that space. So, I mean, 146 million market cap. Okay, interesting. The chart didn't look too appealing if I remembered. Let's take a look here again in the short term. See what the chart is saying. TRB, yeah. So what I'd say with this is I'd want to see bullish divergence above this red trend line. So once we get back above like $90, holding $90, get above $100, get above some volume here. Yeah, I just want more confirmation. Like right now we're just correcting. If we see bullish divergence above this red trend line, that's our cue that we could see a potential trend reversal, a bullish trend reversal. But as long as we remain below this red trend line, then TRB here is still short-term bearish. So Arcus Caperson says, as a technical analysis who deals in probability, what is the probability of more winning trades from VIP Discord? I think so. Like I mentioned earlier before, we're currently working on a write-up for 3 projects on our radar right now that I'm doing research on before this live stream. They don't even have tokens yet, so I'm definitely keeping an eye on 3 coins that I'm excited to bring to our VIP Discord members as soon as their coins release. So folks, if you're interested in joining our VIP Discord group, I suggest you pull the trigger sooner rather than later, because while I'm not prepared to give details at the moment until things are finalized, what I can tell you guys is we're bringing changes to our VIP Discord group. We're bringing we're definitely going to bring a lot more value coming soon. So those people that got in early are going to benefit. It definitely pays to be early. So folks, if you want to join our VIP Discord group, you get access through our Patreon. Link for that is down in the description below. We will be bringing some changes in the near future. And again, we can't wait to bring you guys more value. There's literally 3 that I'm waiting for their token releases. So I'm keeping a close eye on them. I'm following their socials. I'm reading as much forums and Medium articles as I can. And as soon as their as their token release comes out, I got 3 gorgeous projects to share with our VIP Discord members, hopefully in the near future. So I cannot wait for that. So yeah, folks, enough shilling of our group here. So what people are saying. So Akatax says, yeah, bro, Theta, do you know mainnet 3.0 coming? It will go burr already. Well, look, don't spam, please. Look, any major developments like mainnet launches are obviously very bullish. Theta, I think, is another kind of high capper that's very, very interesting, very undervalued in my opinion. Theta is look, we're forming this wedge here. Okay, we have a bunch of volume above us, so we do kind of have like kind of a rough road ahead of us. We're below the 200 EMA on the 6 hour, so we do have plenty of resistance above us. But once we can get above $11, tackle our first major resistance level in volume here. Once we get above and hold $11, then maybe we can break out of this resistance level. If we break out of this resistance trend line and get above $12.30, then we're ready to test all-time highs. Once we retest all-time highs, we're ready to fly. So something I would look out for here with Theta is potential bullish price target. So what we do is we take the height of our wedge here, move it to the breakout point. I mean, could we see a Theta approaching $20, somewhere close to $20, depending where we break out, $18 and $20? I think something like that is realistic. And again, we want to see breaking above these trend levels. Each resistance level we break above, it's just that much more likely that that trend continues. So major resistance levels, $11. Then this VP for opponent control kind of like $12.30, and then all-time highs. And after all-time highs, folks, Theta could be flying. So how far are we down since all-time highs? I mean, yeah, 36% from all-time highs, folks. Look, if you were looking to diversify a bit into kind of like a safe high capper, like a blue chip, that's probably still got plenty of upside. Theta is definitely one that should be on your radar. Decentralized streaming, the leader in the decentralized streaming world. I'm very bullish on this thing long term. And look, Theta is one of these projects that I think has super solid use case. So if I can just take a second here to shill crypto and shill blockchain in general, and to really kind of explain the use case, then I can do so with this. Can you guys see my screen okay here? You guys see this coming through blurry? I was having some internet issues. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay, if you guys can see the screen okay, if there's any major problems. If you guys want to let me know down in the comments below. But look, once hopefully a few people comment, if you guys want to let me know if the screen's okay, I want to explain why crypto's here to stay and why Theta in particular has a really gorgeous use case. So, why crypto is necessary and why blockchain is necessary. And for those who don't know, cryptocurrency, yeah, you guys can see, perfect, all runs on a blockchain. What is a blockchain? A blockchain is essentially a decentralized, protocol distributed through different computers so that there's no single point of failure. That way, if one of the nodes, one of the validators, one of the distributed hosts of the network have some kind of failure, it doesn't completely crumble the whole running software as a whole. So for example, if you have 100 nodes all spread out through different computers, and the United States decides to shut down crypto, well, maybe one computer, one node, one validator goes off in the United States, but the network as a whole is still functioning. And as long as 51% or more of the network is still functioning, well then the network, the blockchain, is still valid, and any transactions, any information, any data that the network agrees upon, as long as 51% or more of the whole network agrees on it, can be trustworthy. And look, so basically, crypto blockchain is necessary whenever you want whenever you want safety from a single point of failure. So centralized databases are necessary, but look, if you store your data all on one server and that server goes down, then then your whole system goes down. But with blockchain, if one element goes down, then the rest still is functioning. So I know that was a bit choppy. I'm taking a few courses on blockchain right now, and I'm obviously still not ready to teach those courses, but I'm trying to really understand blockchain technology a lot better. Like I said, I'm taking a few courses. Hopefully one day I'll be good enough to be an actual blockchain developer. I'm actually trying to learn Solidity on the side as well. So once I'm actually good enough to talk about it, maybe I'll share more of my thoughts until then. But bottom line, folks, decentralized streaming, that's what Theta does. And with Theta specifically, that decentralized streaming use case, is beautifully applicable to blockchain because there's no single point of failure. So without getting too much more into the weeds, I think Theta has a very, very good use case for crypto and blockchain. Because look, a lot of these protocols have crypto and they struggle to bring use case for the cryptocurrency. But Theta, I think, has a very, very solid use case for being in blockchain. So that's enough of that. I'll get off my soapbox. So what are you guys seeing here? NFTB thoughts? I'm not very familiar with NFTB. Let's take a look. NFTB, okay, doesn't pop up. So here's what I'm gonna do. Again, we're forming, we're doing this 1K to 10K challenge. So I want to form a bit of a watch list, and I'm gonna share with you guys one of the approaches I take when it comes to forming a watch list. So what I do is I take a look. I kind of, the first page, second page of CoinGecko, and I want to see what's a project that has sound fundamentals that's down a lot, because you don't want to chase pumps, you want to chase dips. So taking a look at the 24-hour chart, what's down here on page 1 that's good? Binance down a bit, okay. Well, I want to see what's down on the week. Phantom, Filecoin solid, it's down 31% on the week. VECHAIN solid, down 30% on the week. All right, so interesting. So Filecoin, maybe Filecoin is worth taking a look at. So let's add Filecoin to our watch list here. Let's see. What's Filecoin saying? Okay, well, this looks weak right off the bat here. Yeah, this looks weak. Filecoin looks no bueno, so we'll do this. Oh, interesting. Okay. So let's keep taking a look here at Filecoin. Okay, I'll just add it to my radar here. My watch list, Filecoin. FileUSDT. All right, let's keep looking. What else is interesting? I want to find higher probability setups. Because look, folks, I'm trying to flip 1K to 10K. So I want to find what's good, and what's down, and what looks ready to break out. So B-Pro looks potentially very interesting. Audius just continues to pump. Let's take a look at audio here. Yeah, see, we're testing kind of our trend line here. So we'll see if we'll break out. But let's keep looking here. So right now we're on. Is this page 2? We're on page 2 of CoinGecko here. So let's see what's down. Venus is down. I've heard some things about Venus. Venus, not too familiar. What else is good that's down here? Injective, down a lot. Let's see what's down on the week. Bitcoin Diamond, nope. Alien Worlds, okay. Alien Worlds. Let's take a look at Alien Worlds. I've heard a few things about that. So TLM. Let's take a look. TLM. Okay, interesting. Ooh, very interesting. Okay, I'm definitely adding this to my watch list for sure. So TLM, this looks interesting. Now, here's why this looks interesting. We're clearly forming a descending triangle. I think gaming in crypto is a very, very interesting concept. Alien World seems to kind of be a leader in this niche. So if we can get above these trend lines I'm drawing, then maybe we're ready to start breaking out bullishly here. So this is definitely something I want to keep on my radar. If we can break out bullishly, again, with descending triangles, if we take the height, move to the breakout point, and could that take us to, perhaps all-time highs? I think so. So this is something I definitely want to keep on my watch list. I wouldn't get into this now. I'd want to wait for the breakout and more confirmation, but this is definitely something potentially interesting. So folks, again, you want to see what's down, what's undervalued, what have people not FOMO'd into yet that could have a hype wave later on. That's what you want to figure out. That's what you want to be buying. You don't want to chase Shiba after it's pumped 30%, in my opinion. But hey, could be wrong, right? So let's take a look here. What else is down a lot? Verge, Economy. Economy I like, but I always have a terrible time charting it. Unfortunately, I have not been able to find a place to chart Economy. The only thing I would add with Economy is this. See this sideways price action from back in kind of February 2021? This is where I would expect us to find support. So once we get near this sideways price action consolidation from back in February, March, I think that's where we probably bottom out. So again, unfortunately, I can't chart this. I haven't been able to find a place where I can chart this, but Economy is definitely one on my radar for sure. So let's take a look at what else was down here. If we take a look here at the weekly, 1 inch Let's take a look at 1 inch. I think 1 inch was just starting to wake up recently. So let's take a look at 1 inch here. So before I leave, I'm gonna add TLM here, put it in purple. So let's take a look here at 1 inch. What does 1 inch say? Also 1 inch, what a terrible name. So Dear Society says Kylan. I'll take a look at Kylan. I actually own some Kylan. I like Kylan. Kylan is very, very interesting. So 1 inch here. Why is this chart the way it is? There it is. There we go. Ooh, 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 ooh. 1 inch looks very, very interesting. Yep. So I like this chart. I like this chart a lot. Interesting. So how much have we corrected since all-time highs? We're down 38%, corrected 43%. Yeah, no. Look, folks, I don't want to just like here. Honestly, this might be a good spot to buy some 1 inch, not gonna lie. Let's see here. Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Might not be the worst spot to potentially look at some 1 inch. Yeah. Okay. 1 inch looks interesting for sure. So what I would add with 1 inch is, again, we can clearly draw a resistance trend line. So once we start to get above this, I think 1 inch is actually very, very interesting for multiple fronts. All right. So we can draw a trend line based off these two wicks, extend it. We can see that's exactly where we found our support. Also, we can also draw a resistance trend line here. So we're basically in this wedge right near the breakout point. So also 1 inch has been kind of consolidating for months and boring people to death for months, just correcting, consolidating within this range, this narrow range. But what are we seeing recently? New all-time highs and a new higher high, higher lows. Folks, I think 1 inch is showing signs of waking up. Because look, all throughout this period, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower lows, lower lows. What are we seeing here in the short term? Higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high, breaking above our previous kind of range. So I do think 1 inch is very, very bullish. It's showing signs of waking up. And again, we're right up against support. We've had a substantial correction, very solid fundamentals. So honestly, we do need to wait for this breakout point. If you want to be like super, super safe, wait to see what way we break out. But I think I'd be buying 1 inch right now if I were so inclined. Again, it's always, always, always possible that we could break down further. Nothing in this market is a guarantee. But 1 inch, a coin with super solid fundamentals, an exchange aggregator that's down 43%, with the wind corrected 43%, down 38%, no brainer. If you're looking for a spot to dollar cost average into 1 inch, I would be buying right now, with the understanding it's of course possible to break down. And if 1 inch can get above and hold above $5.60, I think we're ready to fly. And again, folks, something we do here, we take the height of our, let's call this a descending triangle to be more conservative. Could we go to all-time highs if we break out bullishly? I think so. So 1 inch, very interesting. I'm adding 1 inch to my watch list here, and hopefully looking to trade the breakout. So if you want to be more conservative, wait for the breakout. Again, we have 3 days before we break out. So whatever we break out was likely to be very explosive. So keep 1 inch on your radar. Now, let's keep looking here. What else? Ocean Protocol. That's an oldie, a goodie. I have not taken a look at Ocean in forever, so why don't we take a look, see if anything interesting pops up with Ocean. Ocean's down a lot. Let's take a look. Here. Okay. Okay, I see you. So, this actually looks interesting. And the 200 EMA on the 6 hour just so happens to be very relevant historically. Okay. Ooh, I like this a lot. So, I can just, right off the bat, I know what I want to see with this. So, I want to see Ocean get above this 200 EMA on the 6 hour that has historically proved itself to be relevant and this volume. So, basically, once Ocean gets above $1.50, we're ready to fly. Until then, short-term bearish. Because we're seeing a higher low, but a lower high. So, I think with Ocean, we're probably just forming like a bit of a wedge. Yeah, something like that. So, again, Ocean seems to have somewhat solid fundamentals. I don't think this is breaking out anytime soon. If we get above this, we're ready to fly. So I'm not going to add Ocean to my watch list. I don't think it's ready to make an interesting breakout anytime soon. So That's what's going on with Ocean here. So let's see what you guys are saying. So 1inch gave me 4 kids. I just hope they're mine. Let's see here. What are you guys saying? Okay. Anyways, I don't think a whole lot of 1-inch jokes. So why don't we just keep looking here? So again, going to the 3rd page. Let's see what's down a lot. Dogeline Mars is down a lot. I definitely, again, folks, would not be looking to get into these coins. Keeper DAO, Rook here. That's one that Elio trades. He shields a lot. Interesting. Okay. So, look, Elio trades, smart guy, makes a lot of great calls. So I'm gonna take a look at the chart, see if anything looks interesting, worth looking at here with Rook. So let's see here. I always fear that I have with these like weird low caps that I have the wrong chart. Does look like the right chart to you guys. Why don't I check out Dex tools here so we can find a better chart. Rook. Can you look at Harmony 1? Sure. You guys, a lot of you guys seem to like Harmony 1. We seem to get a lot of questions about Harmony 1. Folks, we have 262 people watching this live stream. Only 164 likes. Everyone here is required to smash that like button. Folks, if we get to 200 likes, I'll share with you guys some. I don't know quite just yet. Know what quite just yet, but I'll share. You know, if we get to 200 likes, I'll share with you guys something I think that is worth mentioning. Maybe Eternity or something. Maybe super fun. We'll see there. But smash the like button, folks. It helps out with the algorithm. So Rook, I believe this is the right chart. So a few things here. We're seeing higher highs. We're seeing higher lows. Okay. We're seeing a bit of bullish trend reversal. Okay, that's what we want to see. Now let's see if we can see signs of continuation. So what I want to see with this thing is further higher lows. So let's see. Rook. Ooh, that's not good. Okay. So number one with Rook here to see bullish continuation, we need to get above this white trend line here. Alright, we broke out bullishly, but we're currently below it. So that's not good. So with Rook, I'd want to see us get above this white trend line. This is not, maybe interesting fundamentals, but nothing in the technicals scream short-term bullish for me. So let's keep looking. You guys asked for Harmony 1, I believe. So let's take a look. Harmony 1. I believe we took a look at 1 the other day. Let's see. 1. Was this one of the ones we had trouble with? Let's see. Let's see if we can find this. 1 USDT. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Harmony 1. Alright, so okay, right off the bat, we need to hold above that VPVR point of control. 14 cents, 14.5 cents. We need to get above 14.5 cents to see bullish continuation. The one thing we are seeing is, look, we had a pump, we had a dump, and a downward moving channel, bullish breakout, descending triangle. Ooh, this is actually, oh, okay. No, I'm definitely adding this to my watch list. This is very interesting. All right, I'm moving this next to B Pro, and I'll tell you guys why. So, where are we here? Okay, whatever. Anyways, look, bottom line is with this thing, descending triangle, bullish breakout. What are we doing? Falling back down to retest the breakout point. So, if we can hold above that breakout point, if we can hold above this volume at 14.5 cents, this Harmony 1 could be ready to fly. We're seeing a lot of bullish divergence. For months, we've been seeing nothing. Lower highs, lower lows, lower lows. What are we seeing in the short term? Higher high, higher high, higher high, higher low, higher low, higher low. So folks, if we hold above that breakout point from this macro descending triangle, hold above 14.5 cents, I think we could definitely see bullish continuation for sure. Of course, this is all dependent on Bitcoin and Ethereum keeping it together. But if we break all-time highs, I think we could easily see between 28 cents and 38 cents for Harmony 1 here. So it's all contingent upon Bitcoin and Ethereum. and remaining above that breakout zone, remaining above 14.5 cents. If we can flip above, hold above 14.5 cents, this could really, really fly. Now, something else here in the short term, we're clearly forming a descending triangle with our base being above that breakout point here. So with this thing's going to break out soon. This is going to move soon here. Look at this. This is going to move soon. Within the next half day, this is going to break out. So within the next half day, Harmony 1 is going to decide if we break out bullishly or if we correct further. If we correct further and make a new lower low below our breakout point, very bad news bears, very no bueno. In that case, we're probably retesting either this white trend line or this white trend line. Either or, it takes us to about 12 cents, about 11 cents. Not good. That's not what we want to see. We want to see us hold above that breakout point. We want to see us hold above 14.5 cents. If we can do that, we could probably retest the upper bounds of our channel here, probably around 18 cents to about 20 cents. So that's what I'm looking out for with Harmony 1. This is very, very potentially interesting. Now, let me try one last time to add this to my watch list. If not, I mean, I can just remember. But let's see here. There we go. Yeah, I'm 100% adding this and moving this to the front of my watch list right next to BPro. So far, the setups that seem to have the highest probability for me in terms of like a swing trade, a short-term swing trade, are BPro and Harmony 1. Because if Harmony 1 can hold above that breakout point, this is a bullish breakout from months of consolidation. This could really, really, really fly. So BPro and Harmony 1 are currently my two most favorites in terms of the swing trade next, purely based off technical analysis and not really any kind of breakouts or anything or any kind of fundamentals or catalysts. So let's go to page 3. If we were not already at page 3, let's see what's down on page 3. Atari, interesting. Trust swap. I've heard some interesting things about trust swap. Casper. So Alex Herox, you guys, I'm sorry these names. Says Casper. Yeah, so Casper was actually one I shilled to our VIP Discord members. And fortunately, a bunch of them got into the IDO. And so this thing, wow. What happened here? From $40 all the way to $1? $1? Wow. I need to talk to our members and ask them what happened here. A few of our members got into the IDO. And so I'm not sure what happened here, but this is, I don't know if they got hacked or what this is. This is a very rug pull. Did they get rugged? Did they get hacked? Oh, interesting. Very, very interesting. So I need to look into this more because I actually like Casper a lot. I like the fundamentals. I heard some good things about it. Did some research myself. It seemed, somewhat solid, somewhat promising. But this kind of drop is very, very unnatural. From $40 all the way to $1. Yeah, this must be like either some kind of hack, some kind of, I don't know what happened here. I'm gonna have to do more research on this myself. Because look, Casper seemed promising for a while, and I don't know what happened. Did they like increase the supply or something? The future-proof blockchain. Yeah, I'm gonna do some more research on this on my own afterwards. I'm gonna ask our members who got into this thing, what was happening with that. But for the moment, that's not even worth. It's not even worth charting. So Ali Herox says it's the futures. It's the futures. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that. So what are we saying here? Either hack or rug, probably. You got your Discord members wrecked. I mean, again, folks, nothing is a guarantee in this space. Like, something could look solid, something could look promising. Nothing's a guarantee. I've always said we try and find the highest probability stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just that high probability. Nothing in this space is guaranteed, right? World War III could start tomorrow, and all the global markets could crash. An asteroid could hit the Earth, and all the global markets could crash. Elon Musk could send out a tweet and cause Bitcoin to crash. So we do our best job to try and explain to you guys, the major takeaways, major support and resistance. What would it take to constitute bullish divergence, bearish divergence, and price targets? But at the end of the day, we cannot predict macro events. We cannot, I'm not a magician, right? I'm just one guy who's pretty confident in his understanding of technical analysis, who's pretty confident in his understanding of this of this asset class and what it takes to move things. And so I share what I know with you guys in order to hopefully increase your own understanding and your own confidence. But at the end of the day, no one in the space knows anything for sure, and no one in the space can guarantee anything for sure. So again, look, if this was indeed a rug pull, there was no way to predict that. One thing you can do to avoid rug pulls is, don't go all in on anything. Like, I'm very, very well diversified. Like, I may put like 5% of my portfolio into a project. Like, if I like project's fundamentals, I may put like 2, 3, 5% of my portfolio. You never go too heavy into one thing. And again, I need to do more research because that chart is weird. This thing seemingly had like promising fundamentals. So I'm gonna do some more research behind the scenes and find out what happened. But yeah, that kind of price drop from $40 to 50 cents either has to be some kind of hack, rug pull, something. So I'll take a look at that after the live stream. 100% going to take a look at what happened there. So yeah, let's keep a look at. Let's see what people are saying. So Arcus Caprison says all early investors dumped everything apparently. Oh, okay, that could have been what happened. So yeah, so look, if there was an IDO and like everyone who got in early got all their tokens all at once, then sure, that would probably cause massive selling pressure. So maybe that could have been what happened, is just everyone released their tokens. All early investors dumped everything apparently. Okay. Oh, if that's the case, look, if it's just that the early investors dumped and that there's a massive like supply release like all at once, then first off, the team's dumb for not like, well, again, I don't know the situation, so I shouldn't say like, call people names because I'm not aware of the situation. So I withdraw my statement until I understand the situation better. But the team should probably schedule token unlocks throughout, periodically, spread out over several months and years, not all at once. So if the team indeed like didn't foresee that, then that's probably a negative on the team. But I need to look into it more. I don't know what happened. This project did seem to have like pretty solid potential and fundamentals. So again, I'm gonna look into this more behind the scenes and see what was up. Because look, if this thing didn't get rug pull and still has good fundamentals, and there was just like a massive supply unlock all at once, and the team like didn't handle it correctly, and it just dumped, then this could potentially be great by the dip opportunity, potentially. So again, I'll do more research behind the scenes, and I'll update you guys with what I find the next live stream here. So that's what's going on with that. Let's see what people are saying. So Acarus Caprice Sun says the Twitter seems still active and people are sort of still tweeting about it. So maybe it still has long-term hold. Yeah, maybe. I'll do more research after this live stream, trying to figure out what's going on here. What people are saying. Harmony One, we already took a look at Harmony One. Please, Will, no spamming here. Let's take a look here at Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin's still just kind of chilling. One thing as well, if Bitcoin gets above 45,000, that's a good sign, because 45,000, there was a nice peak in volume. So if we can get above 45,000, that's another good sign from Bitcoin. So let's keep looking here to see if we can find more setups and more interesting picks. Solana's just killing it, huh? Cardano and Solana have just been killing it. All right, let's take a look here. What else is down? What's down a lot that could be good? Let's see if anything pops out that's interesting. I'm not familiar with any of these projects, so let's keep looking here. What's down? Teller? Yeah, nothing popped out. Eternity. Let's take a look at Eternity. Eternity is a good one, but an oldie. Ledger as well, folks. Again, I got our VIP Discord members into Ledger. Well, at least I was showing it. I don't know if anyone got in, but at around 90 cents. Very, very interesting. Offers liquid staking for Ethereum 2.0. So that's interesting there. So what else was Eternity? Let's take a look at Eternity. What's Eternity say? Let's take a look here. Yeah, Harmony One does look very interesting, even as a trade right now. Very potentially interesting. So, Kusama Parachain time. Yeah, 100%. I'm stupidly bullish on Kusama. Love Kusama. Parachains are very interesting. Now, Eternity, unfortunately, guys, as much as I love Eternity, as much as I own Eternity, this just looks very, very, very bearish. There's no if, and, or buts. There's nothing here. This looks bearish. This looks weak. Very, very weak. So, few things here. Oh yeah, look, we're below our fib levels. We're below, we're making new lower lows. This is weak. Eternity is weak. So, look, here's the thing. I think NFTs are here to stay. I think Eternity is a solid project that I own that I think has a good chance of being kind of a leader in its niche. And so I plan on holding over the long term because I don't care about this move. I want the several X's moves, right? Like Eternity, could it ever retest all-time highs? Maybe a couple months down the road, we'll see. So, personally, I like the fundamentals. I'm gonna keep holding, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We're seeing nothing but lower highs and lower lows. This looks bearish. If we want to see any kind of recovery for Eternity, of course we need to make of course we need to go up here, but we need to see a higher high. So until we see a higher high above $30, then Eternity's weak. Because look, we're seeing nothing but lower highs and lower lows, just pure confirmation of our downtrend. So we need to see signs of a trend reversal here, and really the sign we would need is a higher high. So until Eternity gets above $30, Eternity is bearish, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I like the fundamentals, but the NFT hype wave came and went, and so could take some time for these projects to recover if they do. So that's what's going on with that. So a lot of thoughts on Anchor. Let's take a look. What's Anchor saying? Anchor is one I've heard a lot about, but I don't really know too much about, to be honest. Let's look at their website. Let's look at their chart. Okay, yeah. Let's see here. Connect Web 3 minutes. We support more than 40 blockchain protocols for staking staking or developing purposes. Interesting. Okay, so is Anchor kind of like just a staking aggregator, like a bridge between different ecosystems? Okay, that's an interesting idea. Developer APIs, easily building Web3 products with instant API access to major blockchain and DeFi protocols. Okay, interesting. Okay, so it's kind of like a bridge between different blockchains for DeFi. Okay, nodes deployed, decentralized. Okay, it's good, decentralized, good. Pioneers around the world. Okay, partnerships, good to see. We're making waves. Okay, so look, from kind of first glances here, Anchor looks interesting. Now let's take a look at the chart and see what can we see. So Harmony 1, very interesting as a trade. I want to see more confirmation, bullish confirmation, but very interesting as a trade. Now take a look here at Anchor. So Anchor, a few things. I think we're forming this descending channel. So ultimately, I would want to see Anchor get above this descending channel. Once we do, might be pretty good fly. A few things here. This 200 EMA on the 6 hour. Clearly relevant. Support here, resistance here. So if we get above 14.5 cents, get above that peak in volume here, we're probably going to go to about 16.5 cents here. Once we can get above 16.5 cents, we'll probably break this trend line and retest all-time highs. So just to highlight the major resistance levels that I'm looking out for that we want to get above to see bullish continuation is kind of, I'd say this right here, from about maybe 14 cents to about 14.5 cents, and then 16.5 cents. And once we get above 16.5 cents, this could really fly. So that's what I'm looking out for in terms of resistance. Nothing pops out at me in the short term as this could go up. If in fact this might even be short term bearish. So I'm not gonna really add this to my watch list because it doesn't seem interesting in the short term. But over the long term, hey, it seems like it has interesting fundamentals. Although the short term does not look bullish. In fact, it looks bearish in the short term. So yeah, nothing too interesting in terms of a short term move. Now let's keep looking here, see if we can find anything else that's worth looking at. Let's see what else is correcting. Let's go to page 5. Alright, I'm gonna see what's down on the day. Looking what's down on the day. Anything I recognize? Staffy? Let's see if there's anything I recognize. Not too much. Let's take a look at the weekly. Vesper Finance. I think I've heard some things about Vesper. Liquidity. I like Liquidity. Let's see here. Tornado Cash. Another one that seems interesting. Armor. Ooh, Armor. I like Armor. I own Armor. Okay, so let's take a look here at Vesper. What do these guys do? They do nothing but down, apparently. So VSP. Let's take a look at the chart. So VSP here. Do we have anything to take a look at? Let's see. So, alright, so this chart does look very weak. It reminds me like of Eternity, where it's just like nothing but lower lows and lower highs. So again, the only thing I would add, just the only like kind of obvious thing, is we need to get above that white trend line. Once we do, might be ready to shoot up. But for the short term, nothing pops out at me as crazy interesting. Yeah, no, not worth looking at in my opinion. What else here look interesting? What do we see here? Liquidity, LQTY. Let's take a look. Happy HAPI chainlink killer. Yeah, I don't think so, man. I don't think anyone's gonna kill chainlink. Chainlink's here to stay. Liquidity. This is another one I shield to our VAP just remembers. That's temporarily bearish. I like the fundamentals of this thing, but in the short term, it's not looking too hot. Looking quite weak, in fact. Now we had a bullish breakout from our descending triangle, but we made a new lower low. So again, very similar situation with the Eternity. For me to be confident in this thing, I need to see a new higher high. I need to see us get above, just like Eternity, $30. Once we get above $30, $31, then I think I'd be more confident that we're ready to see bullish continuation. Until then, this is looking weak for liquidity. But if you're just looking for something with solid fundamentals, could do well over the long term, might not be the worst spot to get in. You want to find good projects with solid fundamentals and buy them on the dip. Ooh, excuse me, gotta sneeze. There, yeah. So that's liquidity here. So for those who don't know, liquidity is one that was shielded by the tokenmetrics guys. Those tokenmetric guys are really on top of their stuff. They've had a lot of great picks. This allows you to borrow against your Ethereum and get a loan for 0% interest. So I think this thing's going to get more and more attention as people continue to make money in the space. I'm bullish on the long-term future. Short-term technicals look weak. So let's see here. Someone says quiet ass sneeze. Yeah, I muted myself. I don't know if it worked, but yeah, I did mute myself. So Arcus says bro Casper was trading at 4,000 for 15 minutes. No wonder. I don't think it was 4,000. I think it was 440. If we look at Casper, I think it was like 40. Yeah. So look, man, like I'm gonna do more research. If this thing still has like fundamentals, I might just ape in myself. This is very, very interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna do more research and find out what's going on here. So yeah, that's going on with that. 88 miles per hour. Yeah, I like that project a lot actually. I think it's like what is it? It's like a yield farming aggregator. Last time I checked, low market cap too. Yeah, that one's interesting. Bird.money is another interesting one that I actually own some. Maybe we can take a look at here. Bird. Yeah, bearish again. Lower highs, lower lows. Not good to see. So this thing has solid fundamentals, but charts look weak. Low market cap though. Let's take a look at Bird.money. Bird.money is an oracle. Very, very low cap. So look, I got into this one just kind of like as a lottery ticket. Like it's so low market cap that just anything can move this thing. Like look, $10 million market cap. Any kind of hype and adoption with his oracle could get massive. We could see large spikes in price. Potentially, nothing's guaranteed. All right, at least this thing hasn't made a lower high yet. So let's see if we can take a look at the chart and find anything interesting going on here. So folks, here's the thing. I'm approaching 2 hours here on the live stream. There's 270 people watching, 214 likes. Folks, smash that like button. Do me that favor. Hit that like button. Helps with the channel. Helps out the YouTube algorithm. So let's take a look here at Bird. Bird looks interesting on multiple fronts here. So a few things. Let's take a look here. Now. Let me see here. Let me see. All right, so okay, well, there's a few things we can do. Okay, I think we can draw a few clusters of potential support trend lines and all converge here at about a buck 20. So if we start to break below a buck 20, I would be worried about this thing. But as long as we hold a buck 20, could potentially be a great by the dip place. Let's see here. Okay, we're also within the 618. 618 is typically where things like to retrace to. So I think with this thing, bird.money, if we can hold a buck 20 and get a get above a buck 35, then we could probably see some bullish continuation. So I think as long as we hold here, and as long as we continue to respect, you know, these white trend lines, we could probably move up here. Now, something else I noticed is that we're clearly forming a descending triangle or just a wedge. So if we find our support here, maybe we do something like this. Something like go up here, go up here, go up here. And whatever way we break out of this wedge, we could break out quite explosively. So ultimately, we need to see if those white trend lines on the bottom side hold. If they do hold, this is probably a wedge. If this is indeed a wedge, whatever way we break out of this wedge, we're likely to do so explosively. So we're looking at the daily here. If this is indeed a wedge, we have potentially like a month before we break out. So we'll see. Nothing crazy interesting in the short term, but just something to keep on my radar. So again, folks, here's the thing. I'm approaching 2 hours here. I think I'm gonna start wrapping up in the short term, but just to begin wrapping up, again, we're doing kind of like this 1K to 10K challenge. I'm currently in Audius here. I'm up about roughly 20% from when I got in. Yeah, 18% roughly at the moment. All right, we're forming a watch list here in terms of what looks interesting next. B Pro looks very interesting as something to potentially get into next. I think Harmony One was also something worth getting into. I don't know why Harmony One just disappeared here, but we'll just add it real quick. Harmony One, here we go. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why it disappeared. Anyways, Harmony One and B Pro, I think, are the two most interesting setups currently at the moment that I might get into next. So I'm definitely keeping that on my radar. And look, if anything interesting ever happens with any of these plays, if I ever decide to take profits on Audius, move it to something else, I'll share support and resistance. I'll share potential price targets, of course. Folks, nothing in this market is a guarantee, but I am trying to find these high probability setups that I think have a good chance of doing very well over the long term. And again, if you want to support us, if you like what we do, become a VIP Discord member. Click on the link down in the description on our Patreon, folks. Again, we will be making changes to our VIP Discord group soon. We're going to be making improvements and providing even more value. And while I don't want to speak on details until things are finalized, what I will say is it does pay to get in early. So if you want, potential benefits that early adopters will have, get in before we introduce these changes. So link for that is down in the description below through our Patreon as well. We're doing all our trading from this 1K to 10K challenge through our channel sponsor, Atani. Atani is that exchange aggregator. So instead of signing in and out of a bunch of different exchanges to place trades, you download Atani, you connect all your exchanges through Atani, and you place your buy and sell orders all through one dashboard, the Atani dashboard. They have a very, very simple 1.5 minute tutorial on their website. You can check it out down in the description below, where they teach you how to connect your exchanges. Again, they also have tax features. So once it comes time to do your taxes, go to Atani, you sign in, click a button, it prints out a form, and there you go. All your tax woes are solved right there. So folks, help us out, help make your life easier. Check out Atani, the exchange aggregator, down in the description below. As well here, what else is worth mentioning? I'll answer this question and I'll wrap up here. So Eric Shun asks, where did you learn TA? I learned most of my TA from Philicone. Philicone is a very popular crypto YouTuber, but he's a trader. He's like a pure charts guy. So if you if you want to check out, if you want to learn technical analysis from who we learn technical analysis from, check out Philocone on YouTube. He has tons and tons of free resources out there. So we highly recommend you check out Philocone. He has paid courses as well, but you can check out his free stuff. We post tons and tons of free resources in our Discord group. So if you want access to all our resources that we look at, check out our Discord group. We have tons of free stuff posted there. So yeah, check out Philocone, who we learned TA off of. He has a YouTube channel. If you just look up Philocone, he has hours and hours and hours worth of courses and tutorials on trading. So yeah, no, that's who we learned TA off of. So check him out. And again, folks, there's 240 people here. I want to thank every single last one of you for being here. Every last one of you for supporting us. We highly appreciate all your help, all your support by subscribing, sharing, liking, all that stuff. And I hope I can pay you guys back moving forward by giving you guys the latest and greatest with news and technical analysis, price predictions, and anything valuable that there is to know with the crypto world. We're going to be sharing it with you guys. So folks, thank you so much for watching. We're hopefully going to be live streaming a little bit later tonight with Messin. So looking forward to that. Enough for now. Until next time, folks. Take care.